Folks, we're visiting today with Dave Oberting. He is the managing director and founder of a company called Questr Automation out in beautiful Hardee County, West Virginia. Dave, welcome to the show. It's great to have you here.
Jim, thanks for having me.
Yeah, I can't wait to learn more about your story. And again, thanks for being on the show.
It's great to be here.
Positively West Virginia. Positively West Virginia.
Positively West Virginia is powered by Breezeline high-speed fiber internet and sponsored by Highmark West Virginia, Freedom Kia of Morgantown, and Humble Influence. With the help of these sponsors, we're able to share the positive business stories of West Virginians, including the one from today's episode.
For our listeners who may not know of your company, Questr Automation, what do you guys do? Tell us.
Sure. Questr is a startup. We were founded in March of this year, and we help family farms automate manual processes and repetitive tasks using what we call smart practical automation. And we have a primary initiative that's called the Roost. And the Roost has two components. One is it is a field automation, farm automation pilot program where we take farm automation tools, services, and hardware and put that into the hands of small farmers.
Okay.
And then secondly, it is a apprenticeship program that teaches local students how to become farm automation technicians and to work on the equipment that we sell and install.
That sounds amazing. Well, what's your background, Dave? Where are you from, first of all?
I'm from Indiana originally, grew up in Ohio. I like to mention those so that I get a little bit of farm cred because those are big farm states.
Sure.
And spent about 20 years in D.C. My wife and I recently bought a house in Hardee County and absolutely fell in love with the place.
Yeah.
And I don't know how much time you spend in Hardee County, but it's farms in every direction. Farms are everywhere. And so when we did that, I knew somehow that I was going to do something having to do with farming.
Yeah.
And it was just a matter of figuring out what and then putting that together with the automation piece.
Yeah, what's your career background that led you to this, this idea?
I have a small business management background. I spent a lot of time in professional services as a corporate recruiter and did that for about 15 years. And just across the board have a professional services background.
Yeah, that's awesome. All right, so let's dive into Questr Automation. How did this whole thing get started for you?
Well, everyone's aware, Jim, of the plight of the family farmer.
Sure.
They've been getting squeezed for 50 years in multiple directions. And if you look back, we just haven't really done anything about it. They've tried solution after solution, and nothing has really worked. And so I was doing my research on the farms in Hardee County, realized the stress that they're under, the increase in fuel costs and feed costs that they have to pay, all the problems that they have, and figured that there's got to be a better way. There's got to be a way to get them the tools that they need to be able to break even and succeed and turn a little profit.
Yeah, that's amazing. So, with regard to Questr Automation, when somebody stops you on the street and says, "Hey, Dave, what do you do? What do you tell them? What's your 30-second pitch?"
It's tough to compact that into 30 seconds, that's for sure.
Yeah.
But we tell them that for the most part, we essentially put automation tools and services in the hands of small farmers who didn't have a chance to have them before. If they can't afford them, we help them to pursue grants and loans and cost shares from USDA and navigate them through that process.
Well, the farming business is tough work.
It is.
These family farmers are, like you said, are stressed beyond belief a lot of times. The opportunity to make a profit oftentimes is dependent on the weather. Here in West Virginia, it seems like we're either in a drought or flood situation. It doesn't make it easy for farmers. Now, are you primarily in the ag space? Is this primarily automation for like dairy farmers, poultry farmers? Is it more like crops? Talk a little bit about specifically what you're known for.
Sure. There are automations for every type of farm.
Okay.
We have crop farm customers, we have livestock customers, we have poultry customers. I'm not sure if you're aware of this, but Hardee County is the poultry capital of West Virginia.
Yeah.
It produces more poultry than any other county in the state.
Yeah.
And so we have automations for all those. There are some automations that cut across all farms, and there are some automations that are unique and specific to the individual type of farm.
Yeah, that's awesome. What's your why? Like, why farming? I mean, obviously, you're in a farming community. You've got some land there yourself, and why? What's your why behind this whole thing?
Well, I honestly think that it is about getting farmers a chance to succeed that they don't have now because of the circumstances that they find themselves in for any number of reasons.
Yeah, that's good. So it's a technology play, really, if you're talking about automation. So is it AI? Are you able to share a little bit about
Sure.
the back end and how this all works?
Yeah, not every tool has AI in it, but there is a fair amount of artificial intelligence.
Yeah.
And when you're doing a solution that is just software, that a lot of times is almost always artificial intelligence. And so we do all kinds of things. We do automatic feeding systems, automatic watering systems, drones, really across the board, anything that you can use to make a farm easier to use.
Yeah, more efficient, and that's cost savings. And not only I see the big picture here, Dave, and maybe I'm taking some liberties with this why that I just asked you, but it seems like being able to keep these small family farms in business is advantageous not only to West Virginia, but the locals, but in the grand scheme of things. Yeah. Big, because you could potentially help people across the country with this automation, right? And I think about, we talk about the food supply a lot, and knowing where your food's coming from. So the importance of local family farms is vital to not only business, but the well-being, the nutrition, if you will, of America.
Yep.
So there you go. All right. So what's the one thing that has you most fired up right now? Like, what are you excited about, Dave?
I can see the way that this is going to work for the first time. For the first couple months, you're knee-deep in trying to do this and that and this and that. And now I can see clearly where success lies and how we get there.
Are you having some success out of the chute since March?
So we have half a dozen farms that are lined up for this pilot program that we're going to run. And that was initially a challenge, which was getting farmers to trust you, because they've been beat up by a lot of people in a lot of different directions, and so getting them to actually have some faith in you and that you are working on their behalf was difficult. Yeah,
I mean, can you expand on that? I mean, I'm interested, and I'm sure our audience is. How do you earn that trust like that as a startup?
Number one, you just show up. You go to their farm and you walk their farm with them. And you let them show you where their bottlenecks are and where their problems are and the things that are causing them to have to spend extra hours that are repetitive. And so you do all that. Not many other people are coming out to the farm to do those sorts of things. And so just literally showing up was about half the battle.
So you're saying that you're almost building a little bit of a relationship's important. It's those basic things that seem to be extraordinary these days.
Farmers do not trust inherently. They don't just automatically trust you. And so it takes a little bit of relationship building to get that together.
And I could see why. They've got a lot riding on this, and oftentimes it's multi-generational, right? And there's a responsibility that comes along with that. Yep. So I think that's really cool. So help us understand the landscape. You're starting there in Hardee County, but what's the potential look like for you?
Well, there's 1.9 million farms in the United States. About 86% of them are small family farms.
Wow.
And so the market is billions and billions and billions of dollars in terms of the automation equipment that's going to be adopted in the next 10 years. And so we are looking at a particular segment of that market kind of in the middle, which are farms that are between 250,000 in sales and $1 million in sales.
Yeah.
And so that is the kind of the range that we have narrowed down to. But it's a big market.
Yeah.
Farming is a $700 billion business in the United States.
And like we said, it's vitally important to not only the economy, but the well-being of America. This is Positively West Virginia. We'll be right back.
Your prescriptions are designed to keep you healthy, active, full of life. At Highmark Blue Cross Blue Shield, we're making vital medicine more affordable. Because when your prescriptions don't cost an arm and a leg, you can use those limbs for something more meaningful. Because life. Highmark Blue Cross Blue Shield, West Virginia.
And we're back, folks. Our guest today is Dave Oberting. He is the managing director for a company called Questr Automation over in beautiful Hardy County. Dave, with all of the experience you've gained in just a short few months, the farmers, the family farmers that you're meeting there in Hardy County here in West Virginia, what's the most interesting thing you've seen so far as you've launched this new business since March?
Well, I'll tell you the oddest thing that I've seen, and I haven't had the guts to ask why I'm seeing it, is every farm that you go on to has rusted out old equipment laying there on the farm that they don't ever dispose of. And so I've always been curious as to why that is.
Yeah.
And so that's kind of the strangest thing. The most interesting thing is just the quality of the people.
Yeah.
From top to bottom, farmers' families, farmers themselves, everybody's just been really genuine.
Yeah, that's awesome. You know, my wife and I have it's called a CSA farm share here in Monongalia County, and it's one of the really a joy in our lives because the farm is literally as a crow flies, probably a mile from our home. Takes about 5 minutes to get there, through the country roads, but having fresh produce, fresh eggs, fresh beef and chicken is incredible to us, and but the people that you meet along the way, the people that not only the farmers, Chico and Mary are their names, the farmers, the people that own our farm here in Mon County. They're great people, but the customers that you meet too that are trying to support these family farms is very really cool too. Yeah. And so I always go, and when we talk about the value of West Virginia and doing business here, I always come back to the people. Yeah, we have a beautiful state. We have our struggles, financially and economically and health and all that, but the people make a difference here in West Virginia. So I guess one of the questions that I have for you is kind of as a value add question is, Dave, for people who aren't in the farming industry, what's the thing that people would misunderstand about automation and farming? Like, what is it that you can help them understand about what you're bringing to the market?
Sure. I think most people think of automation as computer automation.
Yes.
Things that are driven by PCs and phones and those sorts of things. But automation in farming can be mechanical. It can be just machines without brains that are doing the automations themselves. And so a lot of times I think people, when they think farm automation, it's the same as computer automation, but it's not. It's very different.
Yeah, that's good. Things like watering and feeding.
Yeah,
and
precision
things like that.
Precision irrigation is a big one.
Precision irrigation.
Yep.
Why is that important?
Well, because right now, if you don't have sensors in your ground, you don't know when to water. You're watering based on your history and your experience and your eyesight, but you don't really know for a fact whether you are watering at the right time. And so when you get your sensors in the ground, it'll tell you exactly when to water, and it'll water automatically for you.
You don't even have to think about it.
You don't even
so
have
you
to
can
do
put
it.
your time and energy onto more profitable things.
Exactly. That's the whole point of reducing labor.
So You're really in your first year of startup status with Questr Automation. What kind of impact do you feel that your work is having on the state of West Virginia and the businesses you serve right now?
Well, I think that if we get the small farm to the point where it is more possible for them to stand on their own, then that would be kind of the major impact that we've had.
Yeah. Are you talking about like without reliance on, like, say, subsidies or things of that nature?
Right. There's definitely subsidies. There are cost shares and things that they have to deal with the government and get with the government, and sometimes get sideways with the government over. And so that's exactly it.
Yeah, that's incredible. When you think about business in West Virginia, you were working in the D.C. area before moving to West Virginia, Hardee County.
Yes.
What do you think, or maybe the opportunities that you see here in West Virginia that maybe other people are overlooking right now?
Well, I wrote an op-ed that was published in the Charleston Gazette a couple of months ago about the experience that I've personally had with the startup ecosystem in West Virginia, and it has been absolutely fantastic. I've gotten help from that ecosystem team. I've gotten help from the Hardee County Commission. It's just been a really pleasant surprise starting a business in West Virginia and the amount of cooperation that I've gotten.
This is awesome. So thank you for sharing that. I haven't read that op-ed piece, but I will. And maybe we can even share that on our social media channels too, as part of this podcast. So yeah, I think there's so many people out there that struggle with a startup business because they don't know where to turn. Mm-hmm. How did you get plugged in, and how can others get plugged into these tools and apparatus like you just mentioned, the ecosystem and so forth?
Yeah, there's Tech Connect. There's a whole bunch of organizations that are designed to support startups. Yeah. Vantage Ventures at West Virginia University is an accelerator that operates here. And so I just kind of stumbled onto that kind of thing. I wish I had a guide that would have told me exactly where to go and how. Yeah. But I got a hold of some people that are in that ecosystem network.
The entrepreneurship.
Sorry.
Yep. Yeah, that's good.
And just had a wonderful time with them.
Yeah. So what's your advice to folks that are a startup business? Maybe they're 6-8 months in even, and they're like struggling, like, what am I supposed to be doing here? Is it too late to get plugged in?
No, I don't think it's too late to get plugged in. And the biggest piece of advice I could give you is don't ever quit. Yeah. You're only going to fail if you quit. And so I think that's about as important a piece of info as I can share.
Yeah, that's awesome. This is Positively West Virginia. We'll be right back. Stay connected with an unbeatable deal from Breezeline. Voted best in Mountaineer Country for their reliable, high-speed fiber internet for a low cost, Breezeline is the best gig in town. Here at InnerAction Media, we rely on high-speed internet every single day to ensure we can deliver the best content possible for our clients and when we publish Positively West Virginia each week. That's why we use Breezeline. It's affordable, fast, and they're great people as well. Learn more about Breezeline's internet, TV, and mobile options at breezeline.com. In a world obsessed with leadership, what if the real key to success is followership? We hear it all the time. Be a leader, take charge. But what if the most impactful people aren't the ones leading from the front? In Humble Influence, I explore how humility, collaboration, and shared purpose empower followers to create meaningful change in business, organizations, and relationships. Discover the strength of true followership with Humble Influence. Again, folks, we're visiting today with Dave Oberting. He's the managing director for Questr Automation. They're an ag service, really tech solution for family farmers right now across West Virginia. It's a startup company in Hardy County. Dave, I think what you're doing is really cool. I just want to think about, we talk about farms and automation. You mentioned a little bit about the technology. How do you see technology impacting West Virginia entrepreneurs and business owners? But even in the farm situation, you wouldn't think that a farmer could use automation to the level that you're bringing, like you said, understanding with sensors in the ground when it's time to water. But that's really cool, and it's happening. It's actually happening.
Yep. This
is not science fiction. So, what would you say to folks about technology in business right now? What's the thing that you're high on or hot on?
As it relates to farming, I think what's really interesting is that what was not available 10 years ago or 5 years ago or even last year, the technology has advanced to the point where it's now available and it's affordable.
Yes, this is the point. It's accessible.
Yeah. When it really wasn't even a year ago. An autonomous tractor, for instance, a tractor that drives itself, you couldn't get that a year ago. And now it's available, and you can have John Deere deliver one next week if you want to.
Wow. I remember this is several years ago, a funny farm story in technology. Several years ago, and I was up in Lancaster, Pennsylvania, and it was kind of like the harvest season. Mm-hmm. And on one side of the highway, there was this, it looked like to be an Amish farm, and it was a horse-driven cart, and there was young boys in the field, probably 6 or 8 of them, mm-hmm. and they were picking up these square bales and just throwing them up on this cart, and there was a guy up there in the cart, and he's with the first cutting of hay or whatever, and he's up there organizing the bales, and all these young boys are throwing these bales. And on the other side of the highway, it was actually a John Deere tractor, and it was like, it looked like it had some kind of GPS receiver on mm-hmm. the thing, and it was one guy.
Yep.
And he was doing all that with just sitting there, probably in an air-conditioned cab, and he was picking up the hay bales with this automated piece of equipment. And I was like, man, the discrepancy between the old way of doing things and the new way, while I value the hard work and the lessons learned mm-hmm. and all that of the Amish farmer, and then you got the guy on the other side of the road doing it with one person.
Yeah.
It was just kind of a mind-blowing moment, just seeing that, driving down the road. Yeah. And what you're saying is, the technology is here and accessible to everybody now.
It is, and it is largely affordable through combination of your own hard work and what the government provides in terms of incentives and subsidies, and so they're available.
That's cool. And you're in your business, are you helping these farmers navigate that part of it too, trying to find the funding sources and whatnot, grants?
We do. We have developed relationships all across USDA with the people that are involved in providing the grants, and so to have them
just navigate the forms and so forth. You're able to help them.
Yeah,
that's good. You've worked with a lot of people in over the course of your life and in your career. Dave, in your view, what makes a successful business leader today?
I think a successful business leader is someone who is, number one, well organized, because a lot of times when your boss comes up short as an employee, a lot of times it's because they're not well organized. Yeah. And so I think when a leader is well organized, I think that's important, and someone who empathizes with your situation is also important. And so several things across the board.
Yeah, organization and empathy. I love those traits. Very important characteristics for sure. As you think about new business owners or maybe entrepreneurs across the state of West Virginia, what do you think is the piece of advice that you'd like to share? What's the most important thing right now?
I think the most important thing I can say is just stick with it. That is something that is, it's running opening a business and starting a business is very intense. And so understand that there's going to be that intensity there, and just stick with it no matter what.
Yeah, that's great. It reminds me hearing you say that, because you kind of referenced sticking with it before earlier in the interview, and I'm reminded of the great story 3 Feet from Gold. Have you ever heard that story?
No.
It's from Napoleon Hill's epic business book Think and Grow Rich, and in that book he talks about a gold miner back during the gold rush days here in the United States of America, and guy had sold all of his belongings and moved his family out to California during the gold rush, and bought an old mine and started digging. They dug for mined this ground for years, and really never. They had little nuggets here, but never really hit that big vein that they were thinking that they were going to hit, and basically sold everything, moved back to the East Coast. And the guy who bought it, bought all the equipment and everything for pennies on the dollar.
Right.
Said, "I'm going to go ahead and see what's going on here." So he hired a mining engineer, came out and said, "Yeah, keep digging." So the moral of the story was, 3 feet later, they hit the largest vein of gold ever discovered in America, and that's the epic tale of 3 feet from gold. So, to your point, sometimes we get started because we think we have a good idea. We fall in love with the problem, and then we create a solution for that problem, and we start a business. And how often is it that folks give up before they hit the gold, and sometimes they're just 3 feet from it, and they give up too soon. But then that begs the question: when do you give up if you're not hitting gold? So I get it. It's very difficult. It's a conundrum, really. When do you put the gas down, and when do you hit the brakes and say, "I'm done"?
Yeah, I think there's a point at which you may have to give up on a particular idea. Maybe the idea isn't going to get it.
Yeah.
But don't ever give up on yourself. It's kind of the point.
Yeah, of course. I love that, for sure. And, during the pandemic, we heard this term. It's overused today, but it was the word pivot, So if you are going in a direction and maybe you're not seeing that success, you can make an adjustment to the compass and say, here's the bearing we need to go now. Let's go 10 degrees north and see where that takes us. Yeah. So you don't have to quit, but just maybe you make that pivot or adjustment. So I appreciate that, for sure. Dave, this conversation is really interesting. Is there anything else you think our listeners should know about you or Questr Automation?
Well, if you want to know about Questr Automation, our website is questr.us. And so please feel free to visit the website and contact us from there.
Yeah, that's great. Are you on social media right now?
We are. We have a Facebook account, X, LinkedIn, and Instagram. So
is that how you're getting the word out primarily right now?
We push social media quite a bit, but it's still a pick up the phone and call somebody type situation.
Well, that's great. And I know your pilot project is starting with how many farms?
6.
6 farms. Is that starting in the spring of 2026 then?
That's the plan.
Okay. Well, I'd love to reconnect and see how this is all going, because I think you're onto something here that's going to bring tremendous value not only to West Virginia agriculture and farms and family farms especially, but across the country. I think it's going to be pretty cool. And so thank you, Dave, for stopping by. Thanks for giving us the way to get in touch with you. Our guest once again is Dave Oberting, the managing director and founder of Questr Automation, Hardy County. Tell us again the community that you're in over there. Lost River in Hardy County. That's awesome. I was going to say Found River, but it's Lost River. It's still lost.
Yes.
Yeah, that's a little dad joke. Dave, it's been great to have you on the show today. I think what you're doing is excellent, and I want to encourage you to keep up the great work.
Thanks. I appreciate it.
Absolutely. Well, folks, that's a wrap on another episode of Positively West Virginia. If you or someone you know would be a great guest on our show, drop us a line on our website at positivelywv.com. And of course, we appreciate all of your encouragement, your reviews, 5-star only, thank you, and sharing the great stories of those like Dave Oberting and his company, Questr Automation, where he's on a mission to help family farmers, not only in West Virginia, but across America as well. So please help us share those stories. On behalf of our entire Positively West Virginia team, including our producer today, Mr. Jimmy Murray, and our new producer, Samson, too. We really appreciate you guys. I'm your host, Jim Matuga. Stay positive, West Virginia.
We'd like to thank our partners, Highmark, West Virginia, Freedom Kia of Morgantown, InnerAction Media, Humble Influence, and our studio sponsor, Breezeline, for helping to share these positive stories. If you'd like to become a sponsor of the Positively West Virginia podcast, visit positivelywv.com/sponsor.